Buyers of mid-size premium SUVs are truly spoilt for choice. Those looking for luxury can go for something such as an Audi Q5, BMW X3 or Volvo XC60. And if you're looking for something a little more sporty, then perhaps a Porsche Macan or an Alfa Romeo Stelvio. What if you're looking for something in the middle? Well, a Jaguar F-Pace could definitely fit that bill. It's been with us since 2016, which is a long old while, but various facelifts and improvements along the way means it's now a more compelling proposition than ever. It's available with a range of petrol and diesel engines, most of which have mild hybrid technology. However, the one we're playing with today is the P400e plug-in hybrid, which will be the one to go for if you're a company car driver, because its low CO2 emissions will save you a packet in monthly benefit-in-kind company car tax bills. However you come by your car, you're going to need it to be a practical family carry-all kind of car. So how does it score on that front? Well, first of all, you get a powered tailgate as standard, which is very useful, and a decent square opening, and most versions get upwards of 600 litres. The downside of the 400e is that the battery packs sit underneath the boot floor, so they do eat into that space a little bit. That leaves the figure you're left with down at 485 litres. To be fair, that's still more than the 450 litres you get in the plug-in version of the BMW X3. But the space available is eaten into further by the fact there's no underfloor storage for stashing your charging cables. So you'll have them rattling around in the main load area. The elevated boot floor also leaves you with this odd slope up to the level part. And when you fold the 40-20-40 split folding rear seats down, it also leaves you with this awkward step down to the backs of the rear seats. Talking of the rear seats, they have lots of legroom when you need to put people in them, and there's plenty of headroom, even with the optional panoramic sunroof. In fact, you'd have to be well over 6 foot tall before you find yourself rubbing your head on the ceiling. And the middle seat is plenty wide enough, so you can definitely fit 3 people side by side, although shoulder room is a little bit of a squeeze. We mentioned earlier that the F-Pace has undergone various improvements, and nowhere is it more evident than in here. When it first came out, it trailed its German competition, both in terms of quality and ergonomics. Now, however, it's up there with the best of them. On the quality front, the materials are now plusher and the various switches work in a faultlessly slick way, so it all feels very classy indeed. Those clever switches also help improve ergonomics, as does the latest Pivi Pro touchscreen infotainment system. The graphics are sharp, the screen transitions are slick, and the operating system is well laid out and intuitive. We still prefer systems with a rotary dial controller, but as touchscreens go, this is about as good as it gets. The one remaining ergonomic annoyance is the gear selector, because it's got this kind of trigger thing at the back of it, which you must press every time you want to go either from drive to reverse or reverse to drive. And if you forget, which can often happen, the desired gear change doesn't engage. And so we're driving forwards and then we park, so we're reversing, and then we want to drive forwards again. And it will still move, but we're going backwards and I want to go forwards. There we go. Since we've established we're driving the plug-in hybrid version of the Jaguar F-Pace, let's start with the driving experience aspect of it. There's an electric motor and a 2-litre 4-cylinder turbocharged petrol engine producing just shy of 400 brake horsepower, and that power goes to all 4 wheels. As you would expect with that sort of power output, this is not a slow car. When you floor the throttle, 0 to 60 takes just 5 seconds, and so the surge of acceleration you feel is very strong indeed. The power delivery isn't always as responsive as it might be though, especially when you're driving along at a more gentle speed. And when you're doing this, the chances are you're powering it by electric only, and so it's very peaceful and gentle and quiet. And you can do that for up to 40 miles on a full battery charge. However, when you put your foot down for a burst of additional acceleration, the drivetrain often thinks that the motor can give you the desired level acceleration on its own. But then it often changes its mind after a couple of seconds, whereupon the petrol engine fires up and gives you an extra surge of acceleration. That pause sometimes gives you the impression that although the performance is undeniably strong, it's sometimes a little bit harder to get at. Like many plug-in hybrids do, it does feel a bit heavy on the brakes when you're pulling up and stopping. It's no surprise really that the plug-in hybrid version of the F-Pace is a good few hundred kilos heavier than other F-Paces. One concern about all that extra weight is that it might ruin the F-Pace's stellar handling, but we're happy to report that it doesn't. Okay, so it may be a fraction less agile and alert than other F-Paces, but it's still a really enjoyable car to hustle along, with a level of poise and precision that belies its size. The steering is a particular highlight because it is well weighted, accurate and deft. This, combined with the Jaguar's other handling attributes, means it flows from corner to corner both effortlessly and gracefully. There is a payoff for that nimbleness though. All F-Paces have a firm ride, which means that although they stop short of being uncomfortable, they are still less comfortable than many key rivals. More powerful derivatives of the car, the P400e included, have adaptive suspension fitted as standard, which is optional on more humble models. And it definitely makes the car more compliant, although it never loses that firm edge. You can switch between dynamic comfort and eco driving modes, which among other things softens off or firms up the dampers. Or you can select your own settings for the various parameters using the touchscreen. From a ride perspective, if you really concentrate, you can just about tell the difference. But for most people, most of the time, the differences are so marginal that they're almost indistinguishable. A word of warning, you shouldn't go into P400e ownership thinking that that claimed official fuel economy figure of 176 miles per gallon is going to be realistic, because those figures are done in laboratory setups, and if you're going to get anywhere near close to that, you'll be needing to charge it regularly and barely call upon that petrol engine at all. We've got around 30 miles per gallon during our time with the car, and if you regularly enjoy its strong performance and sporty attitude, you'll probably get even less than that. However, if you're a company car driver, your monthly tax amount will be calculated using those official figures, which means it will cost you a lot less than any other F-Pace, which means the P400 is a good option if you're a company car driver, because you still get the same levels of comfort, quality, prestige and standard levels of equipment. Sounds pretty good to us. Please do let us know in the comments what you think of Jaguar's plug-in hybrid F-Pace. Would it get your vote? Or would your money go on an Audi Q5 or a BMW X3? Remember to like the video and subscribe to the CarGurus UK YouTube channel for lots more great car-based content. And if we've inspired you to start shopping for your next car, head over to cargurus.co.uk to find it. And using our clever pricing technology, we'll even tell you if the dealer selling it is giving it to you at a good price or not.